Welcome to the newest episode of my show, I Just Be Talking. I am your host, Kajara Holloway. Not sure what I'm going to title today's episode. It's kind of off the cuff, just a little powwow. Some thoughts I had in my mind. I used to walk to work. I used to walk 5 miles one way to work. And I was not getting paid very much. Not at all. Maybe I think I was getting paid maybe $9 an hour, barely enough to afford Chili's after 2 weeks' pay. But I walked. Sometimes I ran. Sometimes when it was available to me, I rode a bike. If I had a little extra money, I'd take an Uber. If it rained, try to save up for a rainy day and take an Uber. But for the most part, I walk to work. And I think to myself, how many people would have done the same if they were dealt the same hand as me? Think about where you are today. Would you walk to work if you had no other way of getting there? Or would you say, I'm calling in. I'm calling in today. They ain't going to see me today. For me, that just wasn't an option. That I couldn't afford to call in. I really couldn't afford anything, if I'm going to be honest. Money wasn't my friend. I didn't make much, and a lot of times I didn't make enough. Bills come, and they're going to come. The mailman is not going to pass up your house. And when they came, man, I was filled with anxiety. Just like, I know I'm not going to have enough. But, I'm going to give what I had. She was my girlfriend then. Now she's my wife. I would give what I had to my girlfriend so she could, put it in to the money we had. And she would pay bills from there. Sometimes you get that phrase, man, is this all you have? Man, you talking about feeling small as a grain of sand. Less than a man. But to be honest, that happening to me at that point in time was a necessity for me to be who I am right now. Because far too often, we get people, that never go through any type of hardship. They never have a difficult spell. They never have a troublesome period. And when trouble finally shows up, they don't know what to do. They're lost. And unfortunately, some people think the only way out is suicide. Or, just running away. Giving up is what I'm trying to say. Well, some people give up because they've never had to deal with any type of tribulation at all. They've always had somebody to come to their rescue. Now, I'm not saying I didn't have anybody that I could call on. My dad came through for me a lot. A lot of people came through for me when I really needed it. I had nothing else, nowhere else to turn. There's only so many times you could tell somebody, that you're supposed to. I'm looking at my girlfriend at the time, telling her I want to be her husband. I want her to be my wife. and I can't even pay you know, a $500 rent. It was like five something. I don't know how much it was, but I can't even pay that. Let alone pay, get her stuff, get a engagement ring and stuff like that. That was out of the question. But she believed in me, and I'm forever indebted, because she could have easily kicked me to the curb, found somebody else that was, doing way better than I was. And I mean, I wouldn't have been able to fault her for that. But she stuck by me, and we came out clean on the other side. But at that time, man, patience, that was not enough for me. Patience wasn't enough. I didn't want to wait. I couldn't wait. Waiting wasn't in my vocabulary. I needed it now, today, yesterday, and then some. There'd be there'd be days when I would apply for loans. I was applying for loans, and my credit at that point in time was thrashed. I don't know what I did to my credit, but I messed it up bad. I'll tell you one thing, man. I had a Sprint cell phone. Man, I had a cell phone with Sprint, man. It was a Samsung Galaxy S6, I think. Got that bad boy with Sprint, 0 down. And I was on my bill. I was on my bills, man. I paying them up. I was straight. I was like almost done paying that phone off. And then I got fired from my job at the Bell of Baton Rouge. And, the money stopped coming. So I stopped paying. I said, man, look, I don't know where y'all gonna get the money from, but I ain't got it. Yeah, I did some crazy stuff, man. But long story short, that was pretty much the catalyst to my poor money habits, my poor money management. Credit was destroyed, and I didn't set myself up for success. I didn't really know, because you don't really, in the black household, you don't really have conversations about money management and credit usage and how to build credit and what is credit, and you don't really have those conversations. And that's not a fault to my family, because I highly doubt anybody had that conversation with them. So how would they know to put me up on game? But anyway, I'm rambling on. I was trying to take out loans, $1,000 loans, which thank the Lord Almighty that I didn't get approved for any of those, because I guarantee at that point in time I was not gonna pay them back, and I would have been even worse off than I was before I started. Yeah, I was just hoping, praying I could get one of these loans, man, and just pay some bills and buy some groceries. Man, we used to go to the grocery store with $200 for the month. Mind you, that was for the month. We'll go to the grocery store with $200. And that's not all at once. I'm talking about $50 here, $50 there, $50 here, $50 there. And that's it. But, I just wanted to have a win under my belt so bad, and I wanted it right now. I didn't want to wait for it. I didn't want to save up money. I didn't want to, learn skills to make me a, candidate that employers would be looking for. I didn't want to do all of that. I wanted money. I wanted it now. I had sold sneakers, electronic devices, laptops, old cell phones. I had the original PlayStation 4. I sold that. I mean, everything had to go. Everything had to go because I needed some money. And it was destroying me. It was destroying my relationship. It was destroying my self-esteem. It was destroying my integrity. I was lying to my girlfriend, fiance. Lying about money I didn't have, lying about all types of stuff. And it was destroying me. It was destroying me so much to the point where I considered suicide. Seriously. I'm typically, whenever I'm with my friends, whenever I'm with family, I'm typically the one that people talk to when they want to laugh, Like you wanna get a good grin in, a good little, I'm talking about a belly holding laugh, a knee slapping laugh. Go talk to Jar, go talk to Kajara, go talk to KJ, whatever, depending on who I'm talking to. But honestly and truly, around that time, man, I was in deep depression. So where I said, there is no way out of this except for me finding some pills somewhere or something, going to a park and just chugging them. I thought about, man, there'll be times where I just thought, well, maybe if I just drink some of this Clorox and just die quick, maybe it'll just be over. I'm stupid because that would have been the worst way to possibly. I'm not that. Wait, let me stop right there because I don't want to encourage nobody to try anything. But anyway, I wanted it to be over, and I was so desperate that I was going to do something selfish like that. My wife would have had no husband. My parents would have had one less child. My grandmother would have lost her first grandchild. Friends would have lost a close friend. This would have been damaging to a lot of people, and I would have been. At least I thought I would have been feeling relief from this, but I'm saying all of this to tell you that it's never that bad. Sometimes you gotta play with the cards that you dealt. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Some of us get better hands than others. But the reality is, the cards that you're dealt are dealt to you for a reason. They're dealt to you for a reason. You were made to be in the position that you're in right now for a reason. If you believe in the Word of God, then you know that He works in mysterious ways. It's one of the most tried and true sayings amongst Christian people. God works in mysterious ways. His ways are not our ways. So what you think is a hindrance for you now could be a benefit for you later. Think of all the lessons you've learned over however many years of life you've been living. And think about how you apply those lessons today. If you touch a pot while you're boiling water at 2 years old, I'm pretty sure when you hit 3, you're not going to touch it. When you hit 4, you're not going to touch it. When you hit 5, and so on and so forth. You learn a lesson. You learn from it, and you move on. So, wherever you at right now, this ain't the end. Wherever you are, financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, that's not where you're going to end up at. This, wherever you are right now, is grooming you. It is a repetition in the workout of life. That was a good one right there. I ain't gonna lie. That came out of nowhere. It's a repetition in the workout of life. That's a fact. It's gonna get harder and it's gonna get easier. Highs and lows, peaks and valleys. You got to enjoy the ride. Take it how it comes. Keep God first. Continue to pray. If you don't pray, begin to pray. And prayers don't have to be so formal. You could talk to God. God, you want to know Jesus as a friend, not as a principal in a school or something. But yeah, wherever you are right now, it ain't the end. I guarantee it. Guarantee. Well, that's my time. If you enjoyed what you heard, why don't you go ahead and give this a like. If you want to hear more of this, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit the notification bell so you know when I drop an episode. If you're listening on Spotify, go ahead and rate this episode. Add I Just Be Talking podcast on your Spotify list so you can see my new episodes and listen to all the ones that you may have missed. What else? Follow me on I Just Be Talking podcast on Instagram. And without further ado, I will see y'all later. Peace.